Buckeyes and beyond. Here are your hosts, Jeff and Mike.
Hey, everybody. We're back.
We are back and better than ever. I don't know about better than ever, but we're back.
I don't know. I totally didn't. When you said that, you were like frozen.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Fuck it. Who cares? We'll be all right. We'll try a video podcast, and as we're in stay-at-home order in Ohio, unlike Georgia, and the guy's like, "Well, hey man, we need to open the beaches."
Yeah, let's go. Or the whole state of Louisiana, who just now shut down because they had Mardi Gras during this thing. My God, what are you doing having Mardi Gras during this thing? They have Mardi Gras, and then all of a sudden it's, we should probably shut down. Well, yeah, you probably should have shut down during Mardi Gras. Morons.
Didn't even listen to Coach O. Coach O tried to tell him.
No Mardi Gras.
Yo, can't do no Mardi Gras now. Stay at home. We gotta get some football. Joe. We're never gonna play football in July if you don't stay home.
Coach O is the man.
Yeah. Y'all ready to ruin spring football? Coronavirus.
Sure.
All right.
What's up, everybody?
So welcome in.
Yeah.
Sunday morning. Yeah, I have a hockey.
I
say Buckeye. They're gonna be like,
oh yeah.
So I found this. Yeah, I found this at J.C. Penney like five years ago on the clearance rack for like less than $10. I was like, I don't give a shit if it says gymnastics.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I was gonna throw on something Buckeyes, but I just grabbed the first thing that was next to my bed, so it's Nirvana. To say,
all apologies.
That's right. We don't have any here though. We have absolutely none on this show. No apologies.
No apologies. Already dropping F-bombs in the first 3
I know.
minutes.
What's wrong with you, dude? Come on. Sunday morning.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. This is a Christian podcast.
That's right.
Anyway. All right. So, hey, we got some stuff to cover. So, yeah, a bunch of stuff. Like, well, I don't know what you got to start off with, but we can let's just talk about like the most talented, the most, I guess, proven talent that was brought into that's transferred from Oklahoma. And that would be Trey Sermon, running back.
Yeah.
He was out last year. What was that? A knee or an ankle? I mean, I guess they're kind of taking a chance on him.
Yeah. He is definitely worth it though. I mean, he's worth the look. He's worth the
left knee.
The risk that they're gonna take. But I mean, especially now because they're so thin back there with we don't have Teague for the foreseeable future, and Chambers is not Steel Chambers, but Crowley is down too. I mean, there's just nobody in that entire backfield now, so it's probably worth the risk.
Yeah, I mean, Steel Chambers, Crowley is kind of he was just kind of like banged up, just kind of hurt, not injured, sort of thing, precautionary. Yeah. So Teague being out is the Achilles is much bigger than Crowley. So I mean, cupboard's not bare. It's not bare. So, but Sermon helps.
The trip to the store really fast.
Yeah. So
you going to the store.
Yeah. So getting Sermon in there helps a lot. I mean, I always liked him. Because he even played against us.
He played in that game here where we got it handed to us pretty good.
Yeah, and I was trying to find highlights for Trey Sermon, but I saw mostly just like passing highlights.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Sermon. Is that Sermon right there? Let's see. Oh, this is on the PC, so I'm good. Yep. No, it was a different guy. Okay, never mind. Whatever. So, wish I could do a screen share. We'll get there maybe. So this is going to go on a while. Maybe we'll figure out that screen share thing where we can prep some highlights and stuff. So
cool.
Yeah. So Trey Sermon helps a lot. He has good hands out of the backfield. Let's see if we bring up Trey Sermon's stats from 2018.
Plus, I think he's, he was a pretty highly recruited kid too, and he was top on the list for us too. But he wound up going out there to Oklahoma. But the kid, I mean, he's a 4-star kid, and aside from the injury bug, he's been outstanding there. So he definitely has the talent, and like you say, he has the hands too. So that's really important. So
he didn't crack 1,000 in 2018. He was close though. He was at 947 yards, almost 6 yards a carry, 13 TDs. He only had 12 catches, but I've seen him catch out of the backfield, and he looks natural. So I don't know, Oklahoma, they're just in 4 wide a lot with Mayfield when they were.
Yeah. Plus, I think Lincoln Riley's offense is more. It's really hard for a running back to crack 1,000 yards because the quarterback runs so many times in.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get that done, and for him to actually put up that many yards in his offense is pretty impressive. So.
Yeah. So, I think it was a much needed boost for the 2020 roster. The 2021 roster, they
have done some work there, man, because what I think happened was Ryan Day said we're not going to find ourselves in the situation that we were in this year where we had to get the bottom of the barrel. And that's not I guess the best way to put it, because that's sort of like a slight on the kid from Cincinnati. I mean, he's not really the bottom of the barrel, but they didn't get a lot of the big name kids in this year's class that they were looking for. So I think that's what they did. And they went out and they targeted 2 of them, and they have commits from both. They are Evan Pryor, who's from Cornelius, North Carolina. He's a 4-star kid, number 4 player in the state, number 6 at his position. And then, of course, the big one, which was just last week, was Travion Henderson, who's from Hopewell, Virginia. He's, depending on where you actually look at, he's either the number 1 or the number 2 back in the entire country. So,
yeah. Travion Henderson. I saw Beanie Wells saw his highlight tape, and he described it as just, because this tape is just completely ridiculous. And I guess their school is actually playing up a class, and they weren't. It's not like they were playing scrubs. It's not like they're just playing a bunch of we used to have like this one guy who's ridiculously like a prodigy talent, and he's just all over the place, juking and jiving, and against a bunch of lame players out there, but they're actually playing up a class. So I don't know if it's kind of like DeSales, around here is kind of like DeSales is always like kind of playing up, in a weird way. Their enrollment isn't such where they naturally go against powerhouses because they have to go out of their way to schedule up. So, well,
that I didn't know, and that is even more, is even more, that's even more encouraging, because I've seen his tape, and his tape is, my God, it is ridiculously impressive how good he is, man.
Yeah.
The way he's got such good bursts. He's really he's not super fast, but boy, he's got really quick feet and he can get out of the hole fast. Yeah.
It looked like he was pulling away from everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't look like. I mean, he would pull away. He's got great breakaway speed, but it looked like he was more quick coming out of the hole than just hitting it. So he has really quick feet to get to the hole, and then once he does, he just blows by everybody. So no, I mean he is the key to this class for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
he's number one in the. Is he number one in the for 30 over 3,000 all-purpose yards, 53 TDs?
It's ridiculous. Henderson. So according to ESPN, he is the number one back in the country. If you look at some of the other ones, 24/7 has him as the number two. So it just really kind of depends on which publication you are going to read. But he is by far the best running back in the country, I think. And he had, of course, he had offers from everybody, but he had his schools that he had in his final ones were Georgia, that team up north, which I don't know why he would have even had them in his top five or six, but Texas, Oklahoma, Penn State, and then the two schools at home. He had Virginia and Virginia Tech, which I think those two schools, they never really had a shot at him. So, but he still had him in his top 5 or 6. So,
yeah, I'm just like, so I got his tape over here to the right.
Yeah.
He's then they seem like every handoff he's getting is out of shotgun, and
really?
A lot of times he's got a split back. You know, he's got 2 back and a quarterback in there, and he's got a lead blocker out of shotgun.
Yeah,
which is interesting. So, lot of times, not every time, but yeah, he's just like, there was one where he hurdles somebody like on the second level, and then he jukes to the right on a safety. He hurdles and then he jukes. Like, oh my god,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
he is. It seems to me like he's probably going to be, if everything works out right, he's probably going to challenge for a lot of time as a true freshman.
Yeah, he seems like that guy, like just like super. His abilities are too special. Like, his speed is just like, it looks like a man amongst boys, just like some kid in the neighborhood that's playing against like 14-year-old playing against 12-year-olds or something. You know,
yeah.
I mean, it's just like, and this is his junior year. How the hell?
He still has all of his senior year to get even better than what he is now. Yeah, which is really scary. He's going to get any better.
You kind of wonder. Man. You kind of wonder with the kid. I don't know if it's, you know, if he kind of lets off the gas a little bit in his senior year to prevent.
It's possible.
You never know.
To make sure that he doesn't get hurt. Yeah.
But if he's trends the same way, it's like he's going to be almost 3,200 all-purpose yards and 53 TDs his junior year. Was he going to have his senior year?
Like 6,000 all-purpose yards and like 70 touchdowns or something. I mean, it's just
like, oh, he had 3,200 yards and 53 TDs? Was he like an all-purpose, like dual threat quarterback?
No, he was just a straight running back. Oh, wow. Okay. He's just straight running back. He's got over 3,200 all-purpose.
I wonder what his game by game is. I wonder if it's like Derrick Henry. Like, you've never seen that.
That's right, because we actually pulled it up one day on our show, and his numbers were ridiculous on a game-by-game basis. It's sad.
I don't even think they gave it to anyone else.
No, I think it was all Derrick. It was all Derrick Henry that year for Alabama, which I'm surprised that Travion Henderson didn't have them in his top 5 or 6 schools. That was really kind of a shock to me that he wasn't even really strongly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, they weren't even in the top. Of course, he's not really from the South. I mean, he's from
Virginia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's sort of in the South, but it's more of a Midwest state. So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't
East
want to go
Coast
that far.
or-
Yeah, Virginia to Ohio is a lot closer than Virginia to Alabama. Maybe that was in his decision-making process. Like, I want to stay home,
Yeah,
a little closer to home within a few states.
Yeah, because it's like a 6-hour drive from here to there, so it's not really that big a deal. And I can't figure out why he even had Michigan in his top schools. That doesn't make any sense to me. They've done nothing to show that they are going to even, that they can even,
Yeah. Like 7.
What's that?
About Central Ohio to Central Virginia is about 7 hours.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it's nothing. You're just going through West Virginia. You're crossing
that's
half of Ohio, West Virginia, and half of Virginia if you're going to Central Virginia. That's nothing. So
yeah. So the Buckeyes did also add. This has been an amazing run that Ryan Day has been able to do during this whole pandemic thing, to where he's still been able to get kids to actually commit here. And they're not scrubs. I mean, we just talked about Pryor and Henderson. So a couple of other kids is back on the 15th, we had Ja'Kalen Johnson, who's the number 1 player in the state of Missouri. He's from St. Louis. He's a 4-star cornerback, 4th best cornerback in the country. So, this will bring in the argument, that we've had with MLSU for a long time is, are we actually, DBU? And, the kids just want to keep on, coming here and playing and, getting better. And I mean, we keep on sending them to the pros, and they're going to keep on showing up here. So this is a really good kid who looks like he might be a first-year starter too, or then we had just a couple of days after that, they had another defensive back from Nashville. He's a safety, Andre Turntine. I believe that's how you actually pronounce his last name. I'm not sure. He's the number 3.
Good.
Yeah, he's the number 3 player in the state of Tennessee. He's a 4-star safety, 6th best safety in the country. So, I mean, they just keep on getting him in here. And then we also did pick up a kid from Cincinnati who's not really highly recruited, Devontae Smith. He's a 3-star corner. 14th best player in the States, number 33 at his position, 431st nationally. So not a whole lot of hype for him, but he could be one of those guys who just flies in, under the radar and winds up being a really solid starter for 2 or 3 years. So you never know.
Yeah. Yeah, they got, right now in the 2021 class, there's 15 guys committed. And let's see, prospects offers, let's say prospects. I mean, they got guys they got as many as 36, counting the commits. They got 21 more that are prospective they could add. But that's all like,
I actually made a list. Yeah, so there's a list that I made here of probably the top players who they still have offers out to for next year's class. And I really only bothered with the really top kids. They still have a lot of offers out there, but if you're looking at some of the bigger names who I think have a good shot of actually coming here, a couple of them, there's a wide receiver from the state of Washington whose name is Emeka Egbuke. I can't remember exactly if that's how you pronounce it, but he was a teammate of he was a teammate of one of the 4 wide receivers that we brought in this year's class. He was a teammate of, it wasn't Fleming or Smith Najigba, it was the other Scott, G. Scott. He was a teammate of Scott's out there in Washington. So that sounds like that might be a really good prospect if he wants to come here and play with his former teammate. And then there was Will Shipley, who I think we had talked about briefly a couple episodes back. I don't think he's going to be as high up on the list now because we just landed 2 really stud running backs, but he's a running back from North Carolina who some people are calling the next Christian McCaffrey. I'm not sure if that's just because he's, white or if it's because he actually has the same kind of, skill set. But
yeah. Stellato.
No, Shipley. Will Shipley. Yeah. So he's a big time. He's a 4-star kid, the number 3 player in the state. They have him listed as the number 2 back in the country behind Travion. So, but like I said, I don't know if he's going to be as high up on Ryan Day's list now, and I don't think that he would even probably consider coming here now because we just landed Henderson.
24/7 doesn't even have Ohio State in his top 5 anymore.
Oh, okay, yeah. So,
yeah, they're saying they're predicting he goes to Clemson, but he's also got Notre Dame up there.
You could probably cross him off the list. I don't think he's even going to come here now. The one that I really want to keep an eye out for is there's the number 1 tackle in the country, Tommy Brockermeyer from Fort Worth, Texas. I believe we are high up on his list. I think he's one to really watch out for. We could really, get him in here. The whole Paris Johnson thing, though, I don't know how that's going to play out because Paris Johnson is probably going to have that spot locked down for the next 2 or 3 years. So I don't know if he's going to want to come here and have to sit behind him or if we would try to make room for him somewhere on the offensive line. But the kid is he's a massive kid, and he is the number 1 in every category that you could think of, whether it's the number 1 tackle, the number 1 player, the number 1 in his state. So so those are a few kids who are still on the list. Will Shipley, I think you could probably cross him off the list, but there's a couple more. And the last one that I'll mention is Tony Grimes, who's the number 1 cornerback in the entire country. He's from Virginia Beach. I believe he's still high up on our list too. So.
Oh yeah. They got him as warm, although they're saying he's leaning toward Georgia.
Yeah, that makes sense, I suppose.
Yeah. Georgia, Virginia Tech, A&M, Ohio State is right there still.
Yeah.
But they're saying he's leaning toward Georgia. And he's not gonna commit until after this football season.
Okay.
So he's got some time.
We still got some time to try and figure out what he is going to be. So one more that I do want to mention that I had wrote down is, and I can't pronounce his last name, if you can pull it up there and maybe help me, he's a defensive tackle from Bellevue, Washington, JT Tuimalu, I believe is how you say it. Yeah. He's the number 1 player in the state, the number 1 at his, position. So I believe he's still high up on our list too. So
yeah. Let's see. There's only one other commit in this class at that position. They don't know. They kind of think he's leaning toward Ohio State, but they also have him. He's still got Washington in there. Alabama's offered him.
Yeah.
Stanford, USC, everybody out there watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I would say he and Brockmeyer are the 2 that I would really want to make sure that we can shore up in this class. Grimes would be nice, but I think we're already pretty settled in at corner. So
Larry Johnson's the lead recruiter on him. So
that'll probably help.
Alabama has defensive line specialist Steve Sarkisian on that.
I know
It's like-
offense. Let me tell you why you should come out here and play. What
it's
position
funny.
you play? Oh, yeah.
I don't know who. It also says their defense is Pete Golding. I don't know who that is. He's okay. So he's for Alabama. It says Sarkisian and then Pete Golding, who's I guess a defensive coordinator and inside linebackers coach. Like, don't you have a D line coach?
Yeah, why wouldn't you have the D line coach out there talking to him? And why on earth is Sark out there trying to recruit some kid, man?
Yeah.
We better make sure that he's actually sober whenever he goes out there to try and talk to
you
us.
went there.
I know. I couldn't help it.
How was I going to go there?
I know. You know what, man?
It crossed my mind.
You just
I
can't
wasn't going to go there. But, yeah, right now, JT Tuimalo. He's
not sure.
6'4.5", 277. So he can put on some weight still.
Yeah.
He's a string bean.
He could probably put on at least 20 pounds, I would guess. He would actually need to.
Yeah. 90. Be like Will Fork.
Man. He was Vince Wilfork was so odd because you don't see guys that are his size be able to move the way that he could, man. He was such a freak, dude. It was crazy to see him play. Man, he was actually one of my favorite players to watch because the way he could move at that size, man, was so ridiculous. It was crazy. If we could turn him into that would be great by me.
Yeah, I always like when like this big, like 330, 360 guys, like they make a play and then they get up and they like start dancing.
You know what that reminds me of is the movie the movie Necessary Roughness, where the center who also plays, I think, like he also plays he plays defensive tackle, where he sacks the quarterback and he gets back there and he does this big dance, and Rob Schneider is like over the PAs, and now he's doing his big old Hawaiian "I want some poi" dance or something like that. It's really fun.
Yeah, so that guy, Eastside Catholic High School, Sammamish, Washington. Sammamish. Yeah, it's crazy class coming up in 2021, and there's even more time. And then 2022, they even have, let's see, is anybody? Nah, it's still early for that. But they got some guys are trying to go after here. They got an early list 2022. So there was one guy in 2022. This guy Quinn Ewers.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
Man, he has he's got some hair, man. He looks like a hockey player. He almost kind of looks like he should be in Cobra Kai. So let me see if I can. It's so good. Let me see if I can. Let me go back. Let me see. I'll point the camera. Hold on. It's that good. It's that good.
Oh yeah.
Let me see if you can see this guy.
Oh, Cobra Kai, never die.
Yeah.
Wow. He is a Johnny Lawrence clone, man. He looks,
there.
it's like a young Johnny Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah.
John. By the way, they haven't started season 3 yet for that show, man. I really love that show.
You were following that more than me. I wasn't, because you had that YouTube TV premium.
No, it's not YouTube TV because they air it on YouTube Premium, which you have to pay like
Red
like $12 each month. Yeah,
are they still calling it Red?
No, it's just called Premium now. But it's actually a really good show. Yeah, I don't know. So to me, the only thing that's worth it is that if you watch YouTube a whole lot, if you have Premium, then you don't get no ads. But Cobra Kai is worth the $12 each month because it's such a great show. And I keep waiting. I'm not sure when or if they're even going to drop season 3, but it's a really good show. So it's really good. In fact, season 3 they are bringing back Elizabeth Shue for season 3. She is going to come back as what was her name in the original one? Allie. She is going to come back as a love interest between Daniel and Johnny. She's going to show back up. I don't know what they're going to do with her in season 3, but it should be pretty neat. It should be fun.
60 years old.
Yeah, how old is she? I mean, I think that the last time that I looked it up, she was like 55 or 56.
Yeah.
So I mean,
she's on that show, that Amazon Prime show called The Boys. It's
really,
yeah. She plays the kind of like a human. She's not a superhero. She's the kind of the mastermind, evil corporate mastermind to coordinate and have them do all this bad stuff they do.
That's a bit of a stretch for her. I mean,
yeah, she plays. Yeah, she's evil.
But you know what? I actually might actually start that show just so I can see that, because that's actually sounds kind of neat.
It's kind of insane. You got to brace yourself. It's definitely rated R.
Oh yeah.
Make sure the kids aren't around.
Yeah.
There's stuff in it that you're like, what the? It's kind of jarring because it's like superheroes, but they're evil, and you're like, okay. And then there's stuff in there. It's like so graphic, and
so
some
is
of it's
it is it similar? Not like the movie, but just as far as like the tone, is it similar to, say, Deadpool? With like the I'm just talking about with like the violence and the language and stuff like that. Is it?
Yeah. But I think it's different because of the superheroes being evil, and there's like, it's like they try to make it like, wow, what if this? It's almost like mixed between Hancock and Deadpool or something like that.
Okay.
But like all the superheroes are evil except one. Like she has some sort of power of, I forget what the hell it is. Power of like light or something like that. She can shoot beams out of her hands or something. I haven't watched it in a while. I've been waiting for season 2, but I was kind of like even kind of going, do I even come back to this? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's good, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's exhausting. It's one of those shows you're just like, I don't know.
Kind of like takes a whole lot out of you.
Yeah. You're just like, what the, like, so it's all just, I mean, it's a little much. You'll understand if you can watch the first episode and you'll be like,
okay,
wow, okay. Yeah. All right, back to football. So, hey,
what else
I noticed that the guy that was the heir apparent for Larry Johnson, Kenny Anuke,
he went to Fordham, right?
Yeah, to be their head D-line coach, but he was kind of like the guy in waiting here. So, I mean, I guess he can come back, but
sure,
that's kind of interesting because he was really well liked here.
Yeah, I seen it and I was reading it and I got to thinking, I don't know. I mean, we talk sometimes about coaches making a lateral move. That's not even a lateral move, I don't think. I mean, that's sort of just like a step down to a certain extent.
Yeah, I mean, you get a chance to run the ship anywhere. I guess it's good experience. I mean, at least he can say he ran the ship somewhere.
It just seems like you would gain. It just seems like you would gain so much more knowledge in the spot that he's in, as opposed to being the head, or not the head coach, but the coach there at Fordham, which I don't know. It's strange, but to each his own. You can't really fault a guy for wanting to try and, really do something positive for his, career. So, I mean,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. It was just kind of like, I'm sure like Larry Johnson advised him on that. It's not like, they're very close from what I understand.
Yeah. And, like you said too, I mean, there is nothing that says that if that spot does actually open back up that, they're not just going to welcome him back. I mean, there was a similar situation. Who was the name of our defensive backs coach who went to be the head coach at James Madison, and then we brought him back in as our D coordinator? It was just a couple years ago. He was a defensive backs coach here, I think. And then he went to go be the head coach at James Madison, and then we brought him back to run the defense a couple years ago. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Everett Withers?
Yeah, Everett Withers. So, I mean, it's sort of a similar situation where he probably just wanted to go out and try it and see what he could do, and then knowing that he would always have, that he could always come back. So it's a very similar situation, I think, to that.
Yeah. Another thing I had on here was, guess that Matt Barnes, he's a special teams coordinator for Ohio State, young guy. He's only like 33.
Right.
He's assistant secondary coach. I guess he's been a huge recruiter out there, and he helped between Halfley and Combs. He helped stay the course with a lot of these kids, because he's a younger guy. That helps. I think it's a lot of stuff. They're Ohio State's media department, like their PR and their guys who cut those videos and do those edits for kids, and they're a little ahead of the curve. I mean, their social media department is like, I mean, they're ahead, and those guys who and they get those coaches. I mean, if you got a younger coach, is usually going to be a little bit more savvy with FaceTime and kids and FaceTime, using different ways to stay connected with them. So, and plus the help of Ohio State's athletic department, social media, and I'm sure they have a lot of resources for these guys. Is probably priceless.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the one guy I saw that. Yeah, maybe right now he's a special teams coordinator and assistant secondary coach. So he might be one that kind of climbs up OSU's.
Well, if he's the assistant secondary coach, I'm sure that Coombs is probably has him right under his his wing, and is probably which you couldn't learn from a better guy. So hopefully Coombs is going to groom him to be the next him, because Coombs is in his late 60s or something like that. So I don't know how many more years he is actually planning to coach, but if he can groom this kid to do all the things that he's done up to this point, then that will leave us in really good hands. So I think Kerry Coombs is at least in his late 60s, but he doesn't really act like it. He doesn't really act like it. But
you insulted him. He's 58.
Oh, Jesus, God!
I'm sorry,
Coach.
I think it's the white hair.
Yeah.
If he had if he had like salt and pepper hair, it'd be you could kind of can more accurately check his guess his age. But he's got the white hair.
Like this, just like the pure white hair, man. It's really not even close. But hey, you know what though, man? The guy does not coach or act like he is 58 years old. I love to watch him coach, man. He's so much fun. He's just a ball of energy, man. What's that?
I googled Kerry's age, and then I saw this picture of 11 Warriors had it where he's like on a boat It was just 5 years ago. He was on a boat at 53 years old, and look how good a shape this dude's in. Kerry Coombs.
Really?
Here, let me put. Here's another one.
Okay. Let's see.
Because I can't share the screen.
Holy cow! Wow, that dude is cut
Good
for
shape,
being
man.
53, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Jeez.
So, Kerry Coombs.
Yeah. Well, then he probably. I mean, hell, he could coach here for the next 10 years. Then still, I mean, my gosh, we could be in really good hands for at least that long.
Yeah. I mean, it's always amazing when you see like older guys with like, a lot of energy and stuff like that guy, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Oh, I think I know you're talking. Oh, wait a minute. Do I know you're talking about? I thought I did.
The guy that's
why I
like
laughed
he's always on those pressers for the coronavirus.
Oh
White
yeah,
House.
okay, yeah.
He's smaller, older guy. But
I know who he is.
He's 79.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just stopped. He just stopped running long distance.
Wow.
He was running like half marathons and stuff up until just like a year or two ago. He's like, I just power walk now. He like still exercises at like 5 a.m, you know. But
God bless that, man. Jeez.
Yeah,
there is no way that I would be doing that at 79, man. 79. Jeez. I'll be lucky if I can still walk at 79. Jeez.
Yeah, my lower back hurts at 41.
Yeah, I know. I've already had a back surgery. I'm 42, man.
Oh,
my
wow.
back's in horrible shape. Yeah. I've already had back surgery. Jeez.
Yeah. So, let's see. Talk about. It's like, what else did you have? I had a couple other things.
So, we could mention the Buckeye basketball team got we got the transfer. Seth, was it Seth? What's his last name? I can't remember. He's from here.
Towns.
Yeah, Towns. Yeah, Towns.
Yeah.
Towns. I think that was a really good get for Holtman. Yeah.
The only criticism I saw was like, wow, okay, we get another 6'7" like swingman type of guy, but I don't know. I mean, with Washington moving to point guard,
yeah,
and we don't know if PJ Walker is going to get another year of eligibility. We don't know how all this is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, we're just not really sure yet. So, I mean, it's just going to have to. It's sort of in like a, wait and see mode. I mean, I would love it if CJ Walker could get one more year because he finally started to really play a true point guard throughout the last, month or two there. So that would be great if we could get one more year from him.
Yes, Seth Towns is 6'7", small forward, but small forward, power forward, like, college basketball. I think basketball anymore is strange because you don't have any sort of really traditional big men unless they're like kind of rim protectors, kind of.
Right.
You don't even see that. I mean, you see a lot of teams going with 6'7" as their biggest guy on the court. They just want to be fast and versatile. So it's really, I mean, it's not really like, okay, my point guard's 6'1", my two guards 6'4", my swingman's 6'6", my you don't have that traditional.
No,
you don't have a look.
That now.
Yeah, you don't have to look a certain way.
And I think there's a couple more transfers that Holtman is actually trying to get. There's one kid who was at school out west, Gonzaga. I think there was a transfer that we was trying to get, and then there was one more where they're transferring and they have us in their top 5. I'm not sure if we're actually going to get him or not, but I mean. So we'll see what happens, but Holtman's doing a really nice job of actually trying to fill out that roster. Now Towns, I think, can play right away because he's a grad transfer. The other two that are really thinking about that are thinking about it are not grads, so they would have to sit out for 1 year. So, but Seth Towns can play right away because he already graduated from Harvard of all places. I mean, my gosh. So
yeah,
um,
yeah, he was he battled injury. Let's see, remember we had, but he seems like he's fully.
yeah, he
for all
seems like
signs, yeah.
he's fully healed and he is good to go.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that lineup net. So if we can get CJ Walker back for one more year, that would be a great lineup to have him and probably Washington, and then you could put Towns at the 3, I suppose, and then the one that I was looking at had those 3, and then Kyle Young and Liddell kind of at the 4 and 5. I'm not really sure how that would work, but I think that would be a pretty solid starting group for us for next year.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, let's try. Yeah, well, this one. I was looking for like a 2020 perspective roster.
Okay.
But the one I found still has Caleb Wesson on it. So
yeah. Well, we can sort of touch on that in just a little bit too.
Yeah. So yeah, Caleb Wesson going to the NBA
he's I don't know if he's going to the NBA.
He's hoping he's going to the
NBA. Yeah, I think because he's already signed with an agent, which I think, according to the NCAA, means that he cannot come back, but I'm not 100% sure on how that works yet. So,
I don't know if they still have the rule where if you don't like where you were, I don't know if they still have that or not. If you don't like where you're drafted, that seems kind of lame. I remember there used to be something like that.
Yeah.
Where you could return if, I don't know.
There was something like that, but I don't remember what all the stipulations were behind it. I think once you sign with an agent, I think you pretty much give up all of your eligibility. So, but I'm not 100% sure on if that's still how it goes. But he seemed like he was pretty much done.
Yeah, I think I might have been. I think I might have been thinking about when they were letting high school players in.
Oh yeah,
they could kind of they could go. I didn't really, So return to school after going undrafted. Oh, if you go undrafted, okay, you go undrafted.
Well, that's actually a very distinct possibility for him. So
Gaffney too, even dumber.
Yeah. What is Gaffney doing? Why are you? I mean, what did he? I mean, he averaged what, 2 points or like 6 points per game or something. It was just.
You can't even get minutes in college. How do you think you're going to get minutes in the NBA? Like, he's just chasing a paycheck, hoping he gets something. It's like,
I mean, I guess he's sort of hoping that someone will just, that they will take a second round flyer on him just because of his sheer size.
He has no tape.
Yeah, there's really none. I mean, the only tape that there would be his, his high school tape. So, I mean, and that's all that there is.
He got some playing time against. Let's try to think of what those schools they play. Exhibition.
He barely got any. I believe he got some serious playing time in the game against West Virginia. He might have played in that one for a few minutes because I remember that we were actually watching that one together. I think he did play in that game quite a bit, to be honest.
He played, let's see. Oh my God, I don't know if he was injured or not. He didn't even play in the game versus Fort Wayne, University of Fort Wayne. But I don't know if he was, I don't see him in here. Let's see. Did he play in West Virginia? Let's see. Did he play in the Cleveland State game?
Yeah, I'm sure he played. No, really.
No.
West Virginia game is no.
Let's go. It's looking for a blowout. Let's see. West Virginia game. Let's see. Where was that? That was December.
Oh, wait. I remember that was middle of December.
Wait. No, I was looking at. Hold on. Bear with me here. We'll find out.
That's fine.
We got to know. Yeah. I was looking at the wrong.
Because Yeah, I mean,
Let's see.
it just baffles my mind that he decided to leave.
No. Back. There we go. No.
Chris Burr.
Yeah. Back. Let's see. Gaffney. Okay, yeah. He played against West Virginia.
Yeah, I remember him playing.
He played 1 minute.
Are you serious?
1 minute. 1 minute. Didn't shoot the ball.
It's not as good as it actually used to be. So.
Let's look at his game log. I can find his game log. Let's see. Yeah. Game log.
I would find the game where he actually played the most minutes.
Yeah, let's see. He played 18 minutes versus Morgan State.
And that was really early in the season too, I think.
Yeah.
That was like that was like the second or third game of the season. So.
Everyone played against Morgan State.
Yeah. That's really not surprising.
He had 7 rebounds and 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, if that isn't.
I don't know. He has to be doing this based on just his sheer size because he is a big kid. I mean, he's what, 6'10" or 6'9", but he needs to actually put on some more weight too, though, because he's really not that. He isn't really that thick. But I think he's at least 6'10", but he's probably only like 2. What?
Yeah, he's 6'9", 198. At least that's what they have him listed at.
He's got to put on some more weight. That's ridiculous. Yeah. That kid, he would get pushed around so hard in the NBA. Those guys would just breathe on him and he'd just fall over. 6'9", 198. Oh, you got to put on some weight, dude. Yeah, I don't know why he is deciding to leave, especially with Caleb Wesson being gone. I mean, that would just open up a whole spot for him. But he must have been in the doghouse a little bit for Coach in order to leave. There must have been something between he and Coach or he and somebody else on staff because it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever for him to leave.
Yeah, I mean, college isn't for everyone either. So
no, that's
plays
true.
Into it. So
yeah, I mean, maybe he just couldn't make the grades. So
yeah, maybe he was just floating. Excuse me. He was just floating around that 2.0. So yeah, just trying to. It's like I don't. He doesn't even want to transfer. You know, it's probably just too much of a headache, even the transfer.
So because that would have been that was my first thought is why wouldn't you at least transfer to somewhere else instead of going pro? But you're absolutely right. You know, maybe he just doesn't like, he just doesn't like school. He just wants to go somewhere else. So we'll have to see what happens to him. But I don't imagine we're probably not going to hear that much from him. So
and DJ Carton, he's transferring.
Yeah,
I don't know where, but he's out too. So.
Which is a shame because he's such a great ball player too. But it sounds like he's got not so many, but he has a few issues that he is dealing with. And I'm not sure what they were, but it sounded to me the more that it went on, it sounded like he was just homesick is all it was, is he just wanted to go back home.
Yeah. Understandable. So,
yeah.
Who knows? He could, end up, transferring to somewhere. It'll be interesting to see where he transfers. So, if it's closer to home and one of those, there's a bunch of schools right around Iowa. There's a lot. You got a lot of good choices around there.
Yeah, probably. You could even go to Wichita State, which usually has a pretty good basketball team. So.
I don't think Crichton is that far away.
In Nebraska, but it's not that far. Anywhere but Iowa. Go anywhere but Iowa.
Drake
to go to Iowa. Yeah,
Drake and Northern Iowa are both good basketball schools. Yeah. So it's interesting. There's a lot of it seems like you have a lot more good choices with basketball than you do football.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's kind of like. Yeah, I mean, if you're good, you'll get noticed anywhere, just about. But I mean, what was it? The kid from I think Ja Morant. I mean,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
he was I mean, he was playing for a small school, and
Yeah.
I mean, he's really really good, but yeah, you can get noticed anywhere, but it helps to you can play big games, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't want to. I mean, Obi Toppin playing for Dayton.
I was actually just going to say that same name. Yeah, I mean, he is going to wind up probably like a top 2 or 3 pick.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, and he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So
literally, I mean,
yeah, Murray State was where Ja Morant went. I knew it was like start with. Yeah. So Murray State is always usually in the tournament.
Murray State
at least,
racers,
the racers,
and this whole thing where the tournament got shut down, I feel really bad for Dayton more than anybody else because they really had a shot to win a national title, man. And I feel really bad for them because we weren't going to win it. We would have gotten to maybe the Sweet 16. Maybe the Sweet 16. But I feel really bad for Dayton because they had a real legitimate shot at winning the whole thing, and I feel really bad for them, and it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some like predictors out there saying Ohio State could have made the Final Four, like all that based on like some of those, based on what do they call those? They're always like.
So it was the
simulators and stuff like that.
Yeah. So the Washington Post ran a simulated tournament, and I don't remember all the numbers behind it, but they essentially ran every game 5. So they ran each game on a simulation 5,000 times, and each time they took the 2020th game because we are in the year 2020. And they would always advance that person into the next round. And based on those numbers, Ohio State won the tournament. So,
yeah, there was a couple of them like that.
Yeah.
I think anybody can peak, and they were getting, but that Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean,
that Michigan State was not good.
That Michigan State game was not good. No, I mean that unfortunately that was the last game that we had for. And it just didn't end well. But prior to that, they were appearing to just peak at the right time. So they could have made it a real run to maybe, I would say, the Elite Eight would probably have been their whole ceiling. But beyond that, I don't think that they probably couldn't have done much more.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit more apt to believe that if they would have kind of went to the wire with Michigan State. But not get their doors blown off.
Yeah,
not that doors weren't blown off, but it was kind of like it wasn't close at all.
No,
so
I mean, I think it was close for the first 10 or 12 minutes, and then after that, it just got bad.
Yeah. I think they pulled to what they do. If I'm trying to remember,
they got to single digits by halftime. I think they had it at like single digits. I think.
Yeah, I think in the last 10 minutes of the game, it was just like they just
Yeah.
Michigan State just kicked their ass.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a lot of good stuff to really kind of talk about here. There's still, I guess, there's still a lot of questions as to whether or not we are going to have football this fall. Herb Street seems to think that we're not for some reason. I don't know what he's actually looking at, but he was already out as saying that he would be shocked if we had football this fall. So I don't know what he's actually basing it on, but we really need some sort of sports back because it's been, we've had no sports for the past, month at least since the NBA stopped or Major League Baseball had shut down, but we've had no sports for the past month. But for some reason, Herb Street thinks that we're not going to have football this fall. I think we're still in decent shape to really have sports back this fall. I think the summer stuff is probably done with, but I think by the fall we should be able to get back to some sense of normalcy for sports.
Yeah, he's saying that. Oh, I see where he's kind of like saying he keeps basing it on the vaccine being developed. He's like,
Right.
we're a year
Yeah.
away from that vaccine being developed. Like,
I don't know
yeah,
if
but
that's actually been. I don't know if that's entirely true. I suppose he's probably heard that from a pretty good source. But I mean, e- even if that's the case, you don't necessarily need a vaccine for this thing, because if you're in pretty good health, it'll just pass on its own. I mean, it's not like you need a vaccine to get rid of it. So, but we'll see.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all uncharted territory. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
normally,
absolutely is.
normally, I mean, this thing wouldn't survive through a summer.
Mm-mm.
You wouldn't,
Well,
it
I
doesn't.
think that's sort of the worry, I guess, through from some of the stuff that I've been reading and watching, and even my wife, who is in that field, has said that that the summer months it's definitely going to drop, but the worry is that once the flu season comes back in the fall, that there's still going to be people out there who are going to have it, and it's going to spread all over, just like it did. So that may be what he's actually talking about, is that it's going to die down once it gets really, really hot outside, and and
But how is
this
it?
stupid.
Yeah, I don't
What?
understand how it's going to live though.
I don't know.
How does it
So
live? It has to live and
from
survive. Like the thing has to live in someone. Like how is it
what
going to
I've
keep getting
so
passed and live? I guess it's possible, but
from what I've heard and from what I've been talking to my wife on, I wish that she was out here because I would actually have her answer it, but she's not out here right now. But so from what I can gather is when it does start to die down, there are going to be carriers who will still have it come the fall. And then once the flu season hits, their symptoms may show back up because it's flu season. I don't know how it all works or anything like that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not in that field. I have no idea. But that's the worry, is that when it does die down, because it is absolutely going to, once the summer months hit, it's just going to drop. But the worry is that it's going to come back in the fall when it starts up with flu season. I don't know if that's, I don't know exactly how it works, but that's the worry. So,
yeah,
but
hopefully they can. That'd be great if they could get some sort of even remotely successful vaccine. I mean, a lot that remotely successful, not being like, hey, it's 70% effective, and the other 30, it's like, it might kill you. Like not like that. It's, would you like this vaccine?
You
Come
want to take
here.
a chance on this one here?
Drip off the needle.
Oh, gross.
It might.
I don't know. It's like you said, this is all uncharted for us, man. I mean, we've never had to go through something like this. I mean, I've never been through it in my lifetime. I never thought that I would ever go through something like this. I mean, I've been off work you're a little bit you still go to work, right? Or are you still completely working from home now?
Now I'm like I had been 3 days a week in there.
Oh, okay.
And then 2 days home. I think it's gonna change to probably the opposite, or go in only if we need to. I don't know. It's kind of like IT in healthcare is kind of, you can't not have someone in there. It's kind of weird. So
I always thought that you would, at least in that job. I mean, I know that you work at a place where there are whatever they're calling them now, essential, people. But your job, I would think you could work from home. I didn't know that you actually had to be on site for it, which is really strange. I would think that you could work from home the whole time.
Well, the thing is, like, they keep coming up with it's evolving with telemedicine. So they're like, hey, can you set up this device to do this? Or like you keep having to make all these like physical adjustments or install different software or this or that. They keep wanting, it's just ever evolving. And you get people who are like, the more and more people want to work from home. They're coming. So I think that was what we were getting slammed with in the last 3 weeks, was more and more people, as this keeps changing, more and more people were wanting to work from home. So we're having to set them up, whether it's a personal laptop or it's a hospital issued laptop. We're having to set them up. So, and then, so that's, I think, is now done. I think everybody that was going to work from home is working from home, but still, there's stuff where somebody has to be there because, you got to bring printer toner cartridges or to them or deliver them. And so you can't no one can not, you can't, I mean, you can get away with it if you kind of like get there and kind of say, okay, we good. And then you head home and then something happens like being on call. But if, but it's hard for IT to not be nearby. At least they're talking about moving us to down the street at one of the buildings the hospital owns that they used to use for a clinic. It's down the street, but which helps. But then again, they're talking about moving like 10 other people there, so it's like,
well, that doesn't make any sense. That's not really
I don't know.
Anything.
So I know, well,
but
maybe not 10,
I mean, but the point that I was getting to was that, I mean, with no sports, it just makes it even more difficult. But at least you're still going to work. You're still able to actually leave the house. On me, being out of work right now. I mean, I've been home since I believe the 10th of March. I mean, working for a major retailer, for those that don't know, which you don't know, but I worked security for a major retail company, and we've been shut down for a long time, and we're going to be down until at least probably May. So I'm dying for some kind of sports, man. I get tired of watching Sports Center when there's nothing really good on it. It's just this is really unprecedented too for like all these sports stations. They don't know what the hell to even air. I mean, so they're airing old crap from 5-6 years back, and it's ridiculous, man. That's why I'm always trying to scour my phone for some sort of sports update, some sort of news. Just give me something to read. It's sad, man.
Yeah, I saw ESPN. They're saying that we're going to air WrestleMania 35 at 3:00 today. I'm like,
really?
Wow. Resorting to, like, I don't even know what WrestleMania they on. I don't even know.
I don't know. I have no idea. But I did funny. See I saw some still frames on
36.
Bleacher. Okay. So Bleacher Report had some like still frame shots of last night's WrestleMania. And it was really weird because they had it in like an empty place. Yeah. It's just the wrestlers in an empty arena. And it's like, that's so odd. It's strange. Like,
they're using that performance center arena. It's real small. They use it for NXT. I think it's down in Florida, the developmental. So it's almost like just a training facility. And it's like they put WrestleMania everywhere. And it's like, why are you bothering with this? This sucks. Yeah,
especially because I'm sure that plenty of people watched it, but plus right now, I believe their network is actually free for right now, right?
They always have a free trial. I think it's
No, I thought I read that they were going to give a lot of their programming out for free for like the next months because people are going to be home. Yeah, I think I read that somewhere that they are giving out all of their for free because I was going to watch a lot of the old Saturday night's main events.
I see start your free month. That's about it. Yeah.
I don't know. I read something where it said that it was going to be free for like the next month, but I could have been wrong. I'm not sure. I didn't actually.
It's probably just because it's the start. Your first month is free when you sign up, like a trial month.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically it. It's always been that way.
Oh, okay.
No,
I mean, I was actually going to go there. Yeah. So, in fact, I'm probably going to do that at some point this week. I'm just going to log on there and just watch a bunch of the old Saturday night's main events. Those were so much fun whenever I was a kid, man. I used to watch those every Saturday night. It was the one time that I actually got to stay up late because my parents didn't care because I could stay up late on Saturday night and watch Hulk Hogan and Big John Studd.
Yeah, it's funny how they have. Oh wow, you can even go watch they own everything now. So
yeah,
they
they
watch
own
anything.
WCW, ECW. You could probably watch all that stuff because they own it all.
Yeah, you can. I think you can even watch like stuff that was like territorial in the 80s.
Really?
Stuff that world class championship wrestling, like
Smoky Mountain Wrestling and stuff like that.
Yeah. You can watch all that crap. So, yeah, I don't know, it's funny. They don't kind of like you can search for it on the website, but whatever. Anyway, so it's kind of tough. So we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hour 11 minutes, but there was a couple other things we could have talked about, but I'm
sure that we'll still be sitting in the same situation for the next month, so we can keep on doing this. So
so maybe we'll try to figure out how to screen share. Maybe we were trying it. We couldn't get the audio to work right.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
I don't know.
Audio was kind of like.
It was weird because whenever you would do the share screen, I would get this giant screeching noise in my ear from the headphone. I don't know if it was I don't know why, but it's something that we're going to have to try and figure out. So,
I'm going to see if I can. I don't know. Because when I was doing it before, I was using a Bluetooth earbuds and mic. So I don't know if it was had something to do with that. So you never know with Bluetooth. On a laptop too, like Bluetooth with laptops kind of have a history of being weird. So I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going using the phone right now. So we'll see. So we'll work it out. Maybe this is how we do it from now on. I don't know.
I mean, so we could even do soon here with the next couple of weeks, we could do a mock draft,
Oh yeah.
Because because there are a ton of those out now, so we might as well jump on top of that and do that here within the next couple of weeks. So
oh my gosh, the draft of can't get here soon enough.
I know, dude. I'm counting down the days to get to the draft because it's going to be the only sports that we would have had for the last 6 weeks. So it'll be so. Can't wait for it.
It's the draft. It's not even it's not a game, but still, the draft is always fun.
Yeah, the draft is always fun, but now it's even much more. Looking forward to it because it's the only semblance of sports that we will have until this fall probably. So we'll see.
Yeah. All righty. Well.
Okay, man. Yeah.
So
you want to throw out all the stuff there just in case we do get some people who haven't seen us before.
Yeah. I guess we didn't even. I guess if you listen, you probably recognize the voices. But I'm Jeff, and that's Mike.
Yeah.
But so at Beyond Buckeyes on Twitter, and then you can find. I guess we'll put this on our YouTube channel, which is Buckeyes and Beyond. First one.
Yeah, and it'll be the first one that actually has video instead of just the audio playing. So
Yeah.
it should be nice to see. So, but yeah, we were planning to get better by the time football season rolls around, and this may even just help us get a little bit better at what we're doing. So we'll see.
Yeah, we kind of like decided just the other day we tested it out for a minute and like let's just do it. Like we need something else to do. So and then so we kind of threw it together, see how good it comes out. So it's better than not doing anything. So
yeah, it is. Really kind of needed this because we hadn't talked for 3 weeks now or 4 weeks. Yeah.
So all right. So until next time.
Thanks,
maybe
guys.
So maybe I don't know if something else happened, maybe we'll just throw one out midweek if a shorter one. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
hey,
well,
I got
work. But
I got nothing else going on.
I can probably free up in an evening, but we'll figure it out. So
yeah,
something to chat about, even if it's like a 20-minute, or something like that.
Yeah.
So why not?
Or
what we could do is we could try to get Adam on one of these.
Yeah. We could definitely do that.
Post WrestleMania one or something. So
yeah,
I don't know if I'm sure they're still doing stuff.
Maybe he's actually still doing their podcast. He just put out a new one last night. Maybe we get Adam to do a mock draft, and then we could all. So yeah, we can maybe do that. So yeah, I'll try to get Adam on here. I will get a hold of him and see if he wants to actually do something like that. So
all right. Okay, all right. So that's that. So thanks everybody. We'll see you. Talk to you soon. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Stay home.
Stay home. Yes. Stay home.
Stay home so we can have sports.
Yes.
And our lives back.
Absolutely.
Let it pass. So, all right. We'll see you.
Thanks, guys.